Welcome, welcome, welcome. Brett Hudson coming to you live from beautiful South Florida. And today is October 13th. I can't believe it. October 13th. And man, we're already midway through the month. This week will be midway through the month, heading into Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then the birth of Christ. It's just, man, it's my favorite time of the year. I know a lot of people are going through. Hey, Spice. I don't know if that's your name, but we'll just go with Spice. Welcome, welcome. So, listen, I know a lot of people are struggling with their purpose, their finances, their health, their marriage. You know, today's day and age, it's a tough economy out there, and a lot of people are struggling. So, listen, this is why I do what I do every day, Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern. I love to read from spiritual books for like 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes, and then open it up for discussion. Hopefully you're going to get something out of the reading that resonates with what you're going through. Again, if you're struggling with your purpose, your finances, your health, your marriage, this is a great place to connect Monday through Friday. We also have an amazing Facebook group that complements this live stream, which is abundancewithgodgroup.com, abundancewithgodgroup.com. You can catch all the replays. But more importantly, when you're in that valley, it's important to be around a community, right, that's going to love on you, maybe point you to scripture that can help with what you're going through. Maybe their test has become their testimony, so you can relate to somebody that may have gone through what you're going through. So again, the community is super important to plug into. Again, that's abundancewithgodgroup.com. And if you, hey, welcome, James. Welcome, Tom. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Instagrammers, YouTubers, TikTokers, welcome, welcome. Again, my name is Brett Hudson. I love to read from spiritual books Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern. I'm not going to read for more than 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes, and then, again, open it up for discussion. Hopefully something will resonate with you. But again, if you're struggling with your purpose, your finances, your health, your marriage, again, this is a great place to connect. I certainly am a testimony of that, right? So not everybody can be on top of the mountain, right? And when you're in that valley, you know, sometimes you feel like God doesn't hear your prayers. Sometimes it's taking a lot longer than you anticipated. Sometimes God's moving people out of the way. Could be that he wants you to learn something, right? But the good news is when you're in that valley, there's two mountains on each side. So when you come out of that valley, the good news is you're going to come out with a provision, which is what I like to call an upgrade, right? You don't go into the valley and then come out with less than. You come out with more than. So he works all things for our good, the good and bad. And he's for us, right? God is for us. He's not against us. I love that saying that all of heaven is attracted to Christ in me. All of heaven is attracted to Christ in you. As Christ is, so are you in this world. And before we jump into the reading, we're reading Joel Osteen. I love Joel Osteen. I've been following Joel for, 2 decades. And the one thing I really love about Joel Osteen is that fruit of the Spirit, right? He exudes that fruit of the Spirit we're all trying to evolve into: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control, right? I struggle with that. How many of you struggle with self-control? Drop a comment below. Drop a comment below if you've heard of Joel Osteen, you follow Joel Osteen, you like him. I love his messages, love his book, love that he's always upbeat. I mean, I've been following him for 20 years. He's the same 20 years ago as he is today. Obviously a little older, but I don't see any gray hair. I don't see any chink in his humility. I see him like he was that 20 years ago when he took the stage to where he is today, and it's amazing. And so the book we're reading is Your Greater is Coming. Yes, and we're in chapter 12. So if you want to catch the previous replays, all the replays are in the Facebook group, which is abundancewithgodgroup.com. And I love the title of the book, Your Greater is Coming, because it's so true. And so the title today is Joy That Will Go On Forever, right? How many of you would love to have joy that goes on forever. I know I would. And before I jump into the reading, I always like to read a verse from the Bible. And today is Proverbs 1:7. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Wow. That's Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So, we often don't realize our doubts. We need to seek, we bury them. That's what we do. We bury them. We put away our doubts instead of putting on faith like a jacket, right? That's what we do. But, hopefully we learn and we grow and we learn how to put on that armor, that suit of armor. And that's why it's important, to plug into a call, plug into a live stream like this, Monday through Friday. Every morning you have a choice, right? Every morning. Well, let's get into reading and then I'll get into the choices you have, right? Because they're simple choices. But today, if you want to follow along in the reading, you could go to zoom.abundancewithgod.com, zoom.abundancewithgod.com. Welcome, Shirley. Hey, Cheryl, Paul, welcome. Hopefully you guys are going to get some great value out of today's reading, and I'll jump right into it. So God says in Isaiah 61, because you got a double dose of trouble, your inheritance in the land will be doubled, and your joy will go on forever. God doesn't promise that we won't have trouble. Sometimes we'll have a double dose of trouble, more than our fair share. But the good news is that the trouble doesn't have the final say. The betrayal, the sickness, or the loss is not how your story ends. God promises that He won't just help you get through it, He'll help you survive it. He'll bring you out with double the joy, double the strength, double the influence, double the resources. God makes the enemy pay for bringing the trouble. God says your joy will go on forever. That means that trouble is not permanent. The pain is not permanent. That means the loneliness, the addiction, the depression is not going to last. God says restoration is coming. New beginnings are coming. Abundance, victory, breakthroughs are coming. The pain is only temporary. The joy will go on forever. You may have been through a lot of pain in the past. Maybe you have things coming against you now, and it doesn't seem as though it will ever change. Get ready. Manasseh is coming. God has something ahead of you that will cause you to be so blessed, so fulfilled, so prosperous, that you'll live out of a place of joy and gratefulness. You'll think, God, you've amazed me with your goodness. You've done more than I ever dreamed. You won't wake up thinking about the haters. You'll wake up thinking about the goodness of God. You won't go through the day bitter because of bad breaks. You'll go through saying, Lord, thank you for your favor. Thank you for what you've done. You won't go to bed discouraged, dwelling on what you didn't get, sour over the marriage, what didn't work out. You will lie down in peace, overwhelmed with gratitude, thinking about the greatness of our God. I talked to a lady who's well known. She was raised in poverty and didn't have a good childhood. Many times, she and her siblings didn't have food. Her father wasn't in her life. She was taken advantage of by men. There was a lot of hurt, pain, and abuse. Her mother took her to church each week. As a little girl going through years of heartache and things she didn't understand, she would tell people, Jesus is my daddy. Against all odds, God opened doors for her and caused people to show her favor and made things happen that she couldn't make happen. Today, she's one of the most influential people in the world. Every time she walks through her house and looks out and sees the ocean under her breath, she says, thank you, Jesus. Dozens of times a day, she thanks God for his goodness. She had a rough start. She was abused, and her life wasn't fair. But as Joseph did, she gave birth to Manasseh. God blessed her in such a way that he caused her to forget. You may have had to deal with anything that is difficult, but we've all had things that could steal our joy, cause us to lose our passion, and settle for mediocrity. But God is saying to you, Manasseh is coming. There's something in your future that's going to erase the pain of your past. God is not going to bring you out. He's not going to just vindicate you, restore you, and heal you. That would be good, but that wouldn't make you forget the pain. God is going to do something out of the ordinary, something unusual, something you didn't see coming. When Manasseh shows up, when he shows up, you're going to say, wow, God, I never dreamed this would happen. I never dreamed my marriage would be restored. I never dreamed I would be this blessed. I never dreamed we'd be coming in the Compact Center. I never dreamed never dreamed I'd be this happy. Something amazing is in front of you. A friend of mine was married for over 20 years. One day he came home from a business trip and found a note from his wife on the kitchen table saying she was leaving. She had found another man and their marriage was over. He was devastated. He loved his wife. For several years he tried to convince her to change her mind. He stood in faith and prayed and believed, but she never did. At one point he finally realized it was over. He didn't understand it. It didn't seem fair, but I've learned not to put a question mark where God puts a period. We're not going to understand everything that happens. Life is not always fair. You can't make people do what's right. God has given us our own free will. Sometimes people make choices that hurt us. What the brothers did to Joseph wasn't fair. He hadn't done anything wrong. But God is a God of justice. He doesn't just heal the hurts. That would be good enough. We would be grateful just to be restored, but God is so amazing that he's going to cause you to forget the pain of the past. When you go through a bad break, through an injustice, you become pregnant, so to speak. Manasseh is conceived in your spirit. You've been through unfair situations, not treated right growing up, betrayed by a friend. You may be taking a treatment to try to beat an illness. Life has thrown you a curve. The good news is you're pregnant. There's a baby coming, something out of the ordinary, an explosive blessing, a divine connection, a supernatural opportunity. Remember, God puts the supernatural, right? A supernatural opportunity. You couldn't have made it happen and you weren't next in line. What is it? Manasseh is coming. It is God's blessing. It is God blessing you in such a way that causes you to forget the hurt, forget the injustice, forget what you've been through. This friend of mine has been so outgoing, so fun to be around, but after his wife left, he lost his passion. I told him what I'm telling you. This is not how your story ends. God is not only going to bring you through, he's going to do something to make up for it. About a year later, he met a beautiful lady. When I saw him with her, he was beaming with joy. They fell in love and got married. He said, Joel, I had never been this happy in all my life. I didn't know what true love was. What was that? He gave birth to Manasseh. God knows how to cause you to forget the pain of the past. Somebody may have walked out on you. That's not easy, and the hurt is real, but it's not the end. God has the final say. He's going to bring you to somebody so great, so fun, so talented, so good looking, so well off that you're not going to miss the person who left you. Manasseh is coming. God is going to pay you back. Now get your hopes up. Quit believing the lies that say you've seen your best days. You'll never be happy. You've been through too much. God has something amazing in front of you. Amazing people, amazing opportunities, amazing influence, amazing resources. He has something that you've never seen. He has something more rewarding, more fulfilling than you've ever dreamed. And I'm going to stop there because, man, that was a mouthful. That was a lot. So I can so relate to what we just read. It's not even funny. I don't know if it's odd or it's God, right? It's got to be God because it's never odd, right? There's no coincidences in the world. Hey, Gwendolyn, welcome, welcome. Shirley, welcome. We're reading Joel Osteen. If you're just popping on a little late, my name's Brett Hudson. I live here in South Florida. I love to read from spiritual books Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern. Normally I read for 10, 15 minutes. I think I did 13 today. And then open it up, see if anybody needs a prayer, see if something resonated with you in the reading. Also, we have an amazing community, an extension to this because we're in chapter 12. So if you want to catch the previous replays or any of the previous books I've read, We got an amazing Facebook group that just loves on people, right? If you're in that valley and you're struggling with your purpose, your finances, your health, your marriage, man, there's nothing like a community that just loves on you, points you to scripture that helps relieve that pain, maybe can become a test for, their test can be their testimony, or your test can become a testimony in the group. So with that, I hope you got some great value. Just to recap what we read, it started off, I love the title, was Joy That Will Go On Forever, right? Who doesn't want joy that will go on forever? And God promises that he won't just help you get through it, he'll help you survive it. But he'll bring you out double the joy, double the strength, double the influence, double the resources. I told you, when you're in that valley, when you come out of that valley, he always gives us a provision, right? He takes us from glory to glory to glory. None of us like being in the valley, right? I've been in the valley for 2 years on something, right? And it's no fun. Sometimes, you feel like God doesn't hear your prayers, but let me assure you, God does hear your prayers. God hears your prayers. He's just working on me or you and moving people maybe out of the way. Maybe the timing, it's not his timing, right? And so there's something in your future that's going to erase the pain of your past. Something amazing is in front of you. When you go through a bad break, through an injustice, you become pregnant, so to speak. Manasseh is conceived in your spirit. He has something more rewarding, more fulfilling than you ever dreamed. So I'm going to stop there. Tomorrow is a double of favor. So you got to come back tomorrow at 12 Eastern, same bat channel, same bat time, and find out what a double of favor means. Hopefully you can leave the stream with a double of favor, right? Drop a comment below. I'd love to know what your thoughts were on today's reading. If you love Joel Osteen, if there's something I can pray for you for. Again, remember, all of heaven is attracted to Christ in me. All of heaven is attracted to Christ in you. I told you there's a choice you can make each morning, right? You can take the psychopath or you can take the spiritual path. Now, I've been down that psychopath. That's a long, bumpy, hard, no joy, no happiness road per se. Or the spiritual path, right? Like what I did this morning, I hit my knees. I thank God for the breath in my lungs, because a lot of people woke up this morning and didn't even have the breath in their lungs. I do this live stream. You can plug into this live stream and continue with the spiritual vibration, right? Being suited up with your armor per se, so that you can deal with life, because life is lifey, right? Dealing with personalities, let alone your own personality, right? And then hit your knees in the evening, right? And thank God for another blessed day. Bless you so you can be a blessing to others, right? Look at self less, serve more. Again, I hope you guys got some great value today. Again, Brett Hudson, I'll see you tomorrow. And bye for now.